And then Zijlstra, hopefully you can all see it or no? Yes? Okay, perfect.
Looks great.
Thank you. Well, ODISSEI is the National Infrastructure for Social Sciences, as mentioned. We are a large consortium that I want to talk about a little bit more, but before I go into that, the question arises, what is a research infrastructure? And now, of course, we're all familiar with laboratories and with facilities that are needed, say, in the biological sciences or the sciences like astronomy and that sort of thing. But of course, especially now that the world is developing and digital possibilities are developing, social sciences also need research infrastructure of themselves. And so a number of years ago, ODISSEI was founded in 2016. By now, it's infrastructure that has more than 40 member organizations, of which a couple of them at the VU. You can find the social science faculties there, but also research institutes and other organizations such as CBS, Statistics Netherlands, SURF, Center Data, and that sort of organizations. And the idea is that the Netherlands has lots of facilities already. It has lots of rich data sets already. But for social scientists, it would be good to combine forces as much as possible in order to really truly bring the infrastructure to a next level, and to also support and enable social scientists to make the best use of all the resources possible. So ODISSEI was founded in 2016, as said, and then in 2020, we started a large roadmap project, which means that we got money from NWO to further develop the infrastructure and really give it, grow it much further. To give a sense of what we have, I have this overview here of the ODISSEI research infrastructure. I can't go into too much detail, but suffice it to say, I think that for the data facility, that's the place where we try to develop, and encourage access to important data sets, such as the data available at Statistics Netherlands, CBS, microdata for those who have been working with it. But also we try to develop the infrastructure that enables us to analyze the data at a much larger speed, because the data are getting more and more complex. The available data are getting more and more complex. So are the calculations, and so researchers need more computing power. So together with SURF and CBS, we have developed the ODISSEI Secure Supercomputer, where you can conduct research with CBS data, but in a protected environment, but then with the computing power of the supercomputer. If you are interested in hearing more about that, all the information that I'm telling here is on the website, but you're also very welcome to get in touch with us if you want to hear more about conducting such research. Then I also had a picture just to show only at CBS, the number of data sets on different topics are so large that the computing power that is required is really increasing. And therefore, we need facilities that really enable social scientists to still conduct research and really make take the next step in that sense. The observatory is really the part where we try to support and further develop data collections that are already running, such as the list panel, a representative panel that is run yearly, and where you can add questions yourself as a social scientist. Might be nice. We have currently also a call open to for which you can apply if you want to add your own questions to the list panel. But there are also other survey collections that we support. We really want to make sure that all the data collections that are already being done will be able to continue to do so and will be used more, and really that they can flourish also in the future. In the laboratory, we try to develop new things, more cutting edge. We're looking at new methodologies to, say, conduct research with sensitive data. but also new ways of including participation of, for instance, test subjects, I would say. So mass online experiments, we're building a platform for that, and those sort of things. So that's really the part where we try to look at the future. And then in the middle is the hub, and Angelica and I are in a way part of that. With the hub, we try to organize events, we try to organize support for researchers. We really want to make the community of social scientists who in some way or other make use of digital methods or of larger data sets. We really want to bring them together. We also do that, for instance, through a conference. We just launched a call for papers for the conference that we have on the 3rd of November. So have a look at our website if you want to know more about that. The hub really wants to support social scientists who say want to make use of more than their own survey data. So traditionally, social scientists often, create their own survey, find their own people to respond to that. But we want to facilitate the use of other data sets available, including the CBS, but also the list panel. But we also realize that not everybody is already able to then also process and analyze that with newer methods. So we have our ODISSEI social data science team that is ready. They happen to have a drop-in moment this afternoon. You can find a link to that in our calendar on our website. I'll share a link to that later as well. The data drop-in is a monthly thing where you can ask all your questions regarding data science. The SODA's team is based in Utrecht University, but they're now available online for consultation today. But you can also send in a request via the form on our website. If you, for instance, have specific questions about data science or say programming questions, those sort of things. Sometimes that leads to maybe collaboration with our SODA team, and sometimes they'll refer you on to people who can help you further. They're not only available for these consultations, but also for help with grant applications. So for instance, if you're applying for an ODISSEI grant and you're wondering if something fits or what if you need extra support with that, we are really happy to offer that as well. But also if you're thinking about applying for an ERC or an NWO grant, it might be interesting to see how we can help you, not only as a research facility of or infrastructure itself, if you want to embed your project, for instance, but also in your own methods and how you're setting up the project. The data drop-in, you're very welcome to come and check out the website if you want to know more. Sometimes you need more advanced support, and then ODISSEI has grants that they do together with the Netherlands eScience Center. The grants are for research software engineer time. Each project can apply for help for 3 months. So that's more extensive than the social data science team. So if you need more help, say you have an interesting project, but you don't know how to really take it further in the level of programming, that sort of thing, you can apply for an eScience grant and try to get support in that sense. Last year, we had 5 projects awarded, and this year the current call is open. There will be in June, will be an information event if you want to know more. And it's nice to know for those who are considering this kind of thing that the eScience also has larger grants. So if the 3 months show you that you might need more, then there's also the possibility of trying to apply for that further. Yes, also good to point out that we have our own scientific manager. I know that I can now only mention a few things of what we do, but we do have a large number of facilities that can help social scientists. If you have a look at the website and think, okay, this or that might be interesting for me, or I want to know more about actually conducting a project on the ODISSEI Secure Supercomputer with the CBS microdata, for instance, our scientific manager, Kasia Karpinska, is there to help you. The infrastructure is getting larger and larger and offering a lot, but we realize that it's not always easy for someone who don't know us yet to see what the possibilities all are. So she's happy to talk to you about that further. And again, we can also think about grant support in the sense of these larger applications. If you want to know how your project could fit in the ODISSEI infrastructure, that might help you say, show how your work fits into the Dutch national research landscape and those sort of things. So we're happy to think along. If we can't help you ourselves, then we're also happy to think along about who can and refer you forward and that sort of thing. I have a summary here for the things that we offer. I have already mentioned the ODISSEI Secure Supercomputer, the portal to available datasets. I'm sure my colleague will tell you a little bit more about, so I'm not going to go into that. But that's really the part where we try to innovate the infrastructure that is available for social scientists. And of course, for scientists who conduct research that are with related fields, for instance, health sciences, but also some humanities people are interested in using the facilities. We have discount and grants for data access. So for instance, if you want to conduct research with this panel, you can have a look at the website. There's currently a call open for applications to add your own questions and to have them fielded by the LIS panel. But we also have an annual CBS microdata grant. And in addition to that, we have discount for everyone who works at an ODISSEI member organization. And we have quite a list of member organizations, of which a number of them at the VU. So you can also have an overview of that on the website. If you don't happen to work at a member organization, but you know someone who does say at the VU, you can always apply together. There needs to be one person who is a member, and that person needs to be the main applicant, but there's a possibility of tagging along in that sense. Research support, already mentioned, the SODA team, eScience grant, and the grant application support. And we also have quite a few events. We have online lunch lectures, we have workshops. Coming Tuesday, for instance, we have a workshop that we organized together with SURF on a workshop on supercomputing for social scientists. If you want to learn how to use a supercomputer while using R, that's of course might be useful. And as mentioned, the annual conference, here are some dates. And of course, you can go to our calendar on the website. I'll drop a couple of links in the chat later. I see that there is already something in the chat, but that's the calendar. That might be it for my brief introduction, because we're going to take some more time to listen to my colleague